I already went through the history of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in my Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 review. Well, I guess one more thing can't hurt. The idea for Leatherface came from Ed Gein, serial killer, 1930s. He grave robbed, wore dead skin, and had furniture made of human body parts. Okay, moving along. This is something I wasn't going to do originally. By that I mean review a sequel to a movie I've already reviewed. Sort of wanted to move from movie to movie and keep it somewhat random, being as inconsistent as possible. But why Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation? Why not review, say, Absurd, the supposed sequel to Anthropophagus? Well, for one, that sequel ties in with Anthropophagus as well as The Terminator ties in with Shocking Dark, plus the snob's already done it. I've noticed that it's been 9 reviews since I've actually said anything negative about the movie being reviewed. Granted, I am the Cine-Masochist. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the hell out of this stuff. But sometimes you just gotta take a movie out back and beat it to death. Plus it's been 10 episodes, which to me means a semi-fresh start. A way for me to re-wrap my head around this reviewing thing and use what's worked in prior reviews and what hasn't. So Tony and Mario, and yes, those are their actual names, sit down for a nice bath. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, and I'm already tired of saying that title, was supposedly what Kim Henkel and Tobe Hooper intended as the real sequel to the original movie. An ambitious goal if there ever was one. I loved the second and third movies, felt the evolution of Leatherface was done really well, even if each movie kinda had its own feel, and part 3 was sort of flawed, at least continuity-wise. But I welcome that because I'm also a huge fan of the Friday the 13th films.
The American legend returns to bring you back to the cutting edge of terror.
So, this is what the cutting edge of terror is. Well, I guess we might as well just take Bill Moseley's epic performance as Chop Top, throw that in the garbage disposal, and smash Leatherface's Excalibur chainsaw into about 1,000,000 pieces. Because this is where the real shit goes down, right?
Matthew McConaughey. Renee Zellweger.
You fucking kidding me? Okay, granted, McConaughey is not bad in this movie. I'd much rather watch him in this than, well, anything else he's made. If anything, he's the highlight of this flick. But digging a little bit of gold out of the middle of a giant mound of elephant shit with your bare hands still leaves you questioning, was it really worth it? No! Fucking wasn't! Simple as shit plot here. Zellweger and friends just got done playing grab ass at the prom, and make their way to a party, inevitably getting their car totaled, injuring some poor bastard in the process, leaving them stranded in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. It's the typical group of chainsaw fodder. Nerdy girl, nerdy guy, jock dickbag, and bimbo cheerleader. The nerdy girl is Renee Zellweger, so right off the bat it rules out any kind of hope of giving two shits about any of these characters. Like the other Massacre flicks, this one also has a text with voiceover intro, to give the movie a feel that these events actually took place, and that the voiceover we're hearing is from some FBI case file. Let's give this one a listen.
August 18th, 1973. News of a bizarre chainsaw-wielding family. Reports which were to ignite the world's imagination began...
Wait a minute. What kind of fucking voice was that? This guy sounds like he got lost on his way to commentate a Jake LaMotta Sugar Ray Robinson fight. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation is brought to you by Pabst Blue Ribbon. And there's the backstory, definitely proving that this was the true intended sequel to the original film, because the cannibal family are now the Slaughters instead of the Sawyers. Way to go, Henkel. You set out to make the real sequel we've all been bugging out for, and ended up making Leatherface: The Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 3 come off as a more credible and continuity-driven sequel, because it still at least used the fucking last name of Sawyer! So our valiant group of dipshits leave Junko behind so they can go find help. They encounter a woman running an office for... I'm not sure, honestly. She calls a tow truck for them and they gallivant back into the woods.
Hey, is there an ambulance coming? This guy's hurt. Is he okay?
Boy's dead.
But he was just talking, like talking in his sleep.
Is that right? He's dead now. Boy, don't even think about running off down that road. It ain't gonna do you damn bit good, I can tell you that right now.
What are you gonna do?
Well, first, I'm gonna kill you. It ain't no fucking biggie.
Hey, where you going? I just want to break your arm off and fuck you to death with it. Hey!
All right, racing fans, here we go!
So this is Vilmer. He's already racked up 2 kills thus far, and we haven't even seen Leatherface yet. This movie must be building up something real special with him, right? Remember, boys and girls, this is the cutting edge of terror. This is going to be the most savage, brutal, fucking metal Leatherface ever. But before that, we get this guy.
You better not shoot me, mister. There's a man that shot a kid who was wrapping his house and they got him for murder.
I propose to fight it out on this line if it takes all summer. That's Ulysses S. Grant. You probably didn't know that, did you? Of course you didn't. Because you're a bona fide moron.
Heh. So his shtick is history quotes. Leatherface, please. What? No. No! 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 Stop it! Jesus Christ, that is fucking enough! The Next Generation, huh? So this was the next step. The fucking cutting edge of terror. This couldn't cut the edge off a styrofoam, let alone terror. Alright, instead of rambling, I'll tell you why this is fucking crap in comparison to what it's clearly trying to live up to. This feels more like a remake than a sequel, and it's definitely not in a good way. What I get from this is that Hooper and Henkel wanted to top the original film, and that's easy to spot seeing that every scene with Leatherface is pretty much shot for shot like the first movie, yet somehow looks way fucking cheaper than the shoestring budget original. Case in point, just compare the deadskin mask Gunnar Hansen wore in the original film. Next to this fucking disaster, it honestly doesn't even look like it was made for the film. More like something they rooted out of the dumpster behind the local already dirt cheap costume shop. And why the fuck is Leatherface wearing a camouflage jacket? It doesn't add anything to the character, it just makes him look like a wrestler with a Leatherface gimmick. The overall tone of this movie is desperately trying to top the original as well. It's loud, Leatherface fucking screams all the time. Everything's more high impact and such, but is that better? Fuck no. There's no shock factor, especially when these shots were already done way better back in fucking 1974. This movie comes about as close to being the next generation of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre as Lady Gaga and Justin Bieber being credible music artists. Fuck, now I'm depressed. So what else is in this piece of shit that'll end up pissing me off?
I'm gonna leave, and no one is gonna stop me. You sit the fuck down!
Ah, fuck you! Let's wrap this the fuck up already. Some suit shows up and it turns out that the slaughters are some guinea pig experiment orchestrated by some rich twat that gets off on people knowing the true meaning of horror. So we go from Sally Hardisty's blood being fed to Grandpa plus the overall nerve-shattering finale of the original to Zellweger getting licked by some rich guy with fucked up body piercings, Zellweger having a remote control battle with McConaughey to keep his electric leg brace from functioning, and honestly some shit that I don't even care to explain. After whatever the fuck that was, Donald Trump gives Zellweger a ride and goes on more about what this was all really about, spiritual bullshit apparently, and takes her to the hospital, where we get a random cameo from Marilyn Burns, who played Sally Hardesty in the original film. And does it mean anything? Not really. Maybe it was meant to, but I see no connection to anything even relatively related to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre after seeing Matthew McConaughey get hit by a fucking airplane. I hate this movie. Plain and simple. It's a flat-out mockery of the original film, and it makes it all the more sad that it was brought to us by the same people of the original film. What probably bugs me the most here is that there's absolutely nothing new about Leatherface. If anything, shit has been taken away. In the original and second film, Leatherface takes shit from the cook, but the victims still fear him. They still fear the large lunatic with a fashion sense for dead skin. In this one, Renee Zellweger verbally tears Bubba a new one, and he sits down all sad from the tongue lashing. And it doesn't help again that this so-called next generation out-cheaps a 1974 damn near budgetless film in just about every fucking way imaginable. Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. All these franchises have their pariahs, but I can still enjoy Friday the 13th Part 5. I love Freddy's Revenge, and Halloween 3 fucking kicks ass. But this? Jesus, how can Leatherface fall this fucking far from grace, and with so few sequels? Well, there's only one movie that can make me feel happy after this.
But wiser, you created a monster, and they call him Frankenstein. And the tavern down the street is the laboratory where he makes the transformation all the time. And a stein of Dr. Blood is a pint of monster blood, and it does affect me different every time. But wiser, you created a monster, and they call me Frankenstein. And they call me Frankenstein. Yeah, I'm Frankenstein. I'm Frankenstein. I'm drinking.